It is my pleasure to welcome you to this lecture, Models of Reconstruction. Today, I will walk you through three conceptual models I use to reconstruct historical realities from fragmented narratives and evidence. These models, Potshards, Anastylosis, and puzzle, illustrate different but complementary ways of assembling scattered properties or second-order signifieds into a coherent, structured object. Our goal is to understand how these fragments, once correctly identified and assembled, can reveal a higher-order meaning, a third-order signified that connects legend to history. Let us begin with the first model. The first model is the Potshards model. Here, the properties of a research object are like pottery shards, individual fragments of a lost vessel. Each shard represents a different property or clue or evidence, a second-order signified, scattered by time and circumstance. If my theory is valid, then these fragments, when correctly identified and assembled, can be pieced together to form the original pot. Some fragments may be missing, but the overall form, the assembled pot, becomes recognizable and meaningful. Crucially, this assembled pot is more than just a sum of its parts. It is a new, higher-level meaning, a third-order signified, representing the complete, structured object as reconstructed from the fragments of narrative or evidence. The second model is the Anastylosis model. In this archaeological approach, the properties of a research object are likened to the scattered stone blocks of an ancient temple. Each block is a property, a second-order signified, waiting to be put in its proper place. Through careful analysis, these original blocks are reassembled, filling in the gaps only minimally where material is lost. The restored temple, the assembled structure, becomes a third-order signified, expressing a new, holistic meaning that emerges only when the authentic pieces are brought together. Now, I want to introduce the third model, the one I use moving forward, as it is the clearest and easiest for everyone to understand, the puzzle model. In this model, the properties of a research object, the second-order signifieds, are like individual pieces of a large, complex puzzle. Each puzzle piece represents a different aspect, clue, or meaning extracted from narrative, decoded through the methods we discussed earlier. At first, each piece by itself may seem insignificant or incomplete, but as more pieces are identified and properly placed, the connections between them become clear, and a bigger picture begins to emerge. When enough pieces are assembled, they form a coherent image, the completed puzzle. And just like in the previous models, this assembled picture is not simply a random collection of fragments. It represents a new, higher-level meaning, a third-order signified. In this context, the completed puzzle stands for the fully reconstructed, structured object as described by the narrative, depicted by the symbols, or shown by the evidence, and decoded through my research. What makes the puzzle model especially useful is its clarity and universality. We all intuitively understand that a puzzle needs many different pieces, each with its unique shape and place, to reveal the full image. Even if a few pieces are still missing, as long as the majorities are in place, the overall picture is still recognizable and meaningful. Each puzzle piece is a property or second-order signified. The assembled puzzle is the third-order signified, the structured, holistic understanding of the research object. As we move forward, keep this image in mind. Every piece of evidence, every decoded clue, is part of the larger puzzle that, when completed, allows us to truly see the research object for what it was, a complex and multifaceted research object, reconstructed from the fragments of ancient narrative and myth. In conclusion, whether we view our evidence as pottery shards, ancient temple blocks, or puzzle pieces, the principle remains the same. Each fragment carries meaning, and when assembled thoughtfully, they reveal a larger, coherent whole. The third order, signified, the reconstructed, structured object, is more than just the sum of its parts. It is a holistic representation of the historical reality that once existed, preserved through fragments of narrative, symbolism, and material evidence. Thank you for joining me on this exploration, and I hope these models inspire you to see ancient clues as integral parts of a much bigger picture.